Good afternoon, happy Wednesday, and welcome to episode 5 of A Look Behind the Job Posting. I am your host, Paul Moss, and I am one of the recruitment, marketing, and sourcing coordinators here at UNC Health. In these episodes, we're going to pull back the curtain and provide you with an in-depth look at some of UNC Health's departments and open positions. I know last month we promised you the Information Services Division for this episode, but due to a scheduling conflict, they had to reschedule to December. However, we still have some very special guests lined up for you today, as we'll be joined by the nursing manager of UNC Medical Center's observation units, along with a registered nurse from general medicine and the recruiters for those units. If you have any questions or feedback during the show, please throw your comments into the chat and we'll get them answered for you. Joining us now is the nurse manager for UNC Medical Center's 1 Memorial Medical Observation Unit and 4 West Medical Surgical Observation Unit. Please welcome Tiffany Fusner. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today. Tiffany, can you provide us with a little background on 1 Memorial and 4 West?
Absolutely. As you said, 1 Memorial and 4 West are medical and surgical short stay units, is what observation is. Generally a 24 to 48 hour stay. Our patients we take a very large variety of patients. So that's a really exciting thing about our units is you get to see a little bit of everything, and you get a piece of the medical, you get a piece of the surgical. So it's a great experience. One of the things that I find really exciting is that we get to work with research studies and research patients. We get to transplant patients, and that's just a couple of the special things we do. But we do take all kinds of patients needing antibiotics and fluids. Maybe they need some tests or procedures. Maybe they're coming out of the ORs and had a little bit of a complication, or needing a little extra pain control before they go home. So it's a little bit about the patients we see.
I know UNC Medical Center recently launched a new nursing program called the More to Explore Pathway Program. Can you please tell us more about this exciting new opportunity?
Yes, I'm very excited about the More to Explore program that we're starting. It's really a formalized growth opportunity that lines up our applicants with a unit, an acute care unit specifically, with the plan that they will grow into maybe an ICU step down or the emergency department, something that is a higher level of care. So you can come in and get that really good base and get your feet under you in that med-surg unit, have that wide range of patients that you get to learn about, and then move into that specialty that you're really interested in. So we work with them to get them going, connect them with those units. They get to shadow with the units that they think they're most interested in before they apply. So it really helps to help somebody move into that next step of their nursing career.
There seem to be many acute care units within the medical center. Are you able to provide us with a background on some of these units?
So we do have, aside from my own that we've spoken about, we have 3 West, which is primarily renal. They see a little bit of cardiac patients. We do have 8-bed tower, which is a general medicine. 6-bed tower has respiratory patients and infectious disease. 4 Onc is oncology specific. 5-bed tower is on the surgical side, and they see ortho trauma patients. 6 East and 6 West is going to be GI surgery. And that's just to name a few. There really is many acute care units to choose from.
Sounds like a lot of good options. What are some of the clinical ladder opportunities within acute care?
We have a fantastic clinical ladder opportunity. It really focuses on the growth and development of our staff. So if you're coming in as a new grad, we have a residency program for nurses to connect, network, educational opportunities, and really grow in that first year and give you the support that you need during that time. After a year and finishing that residency program, we get to promote them into a clinical nurse 2 position. And then that's our general nurses. They have the opportunities to participate in many things. But if they want to continue to move, we're happy to help them grow into a clinical nurse 3 position, which does require involvement in committees and projects, charge nurse responsibilities. And they're really a form of leader on the units. And they're a great resource for our staff. And then past that, we have what is called a clinical nurse 4, which is like an assistant manager. So it takes on even more responsibility responsibility and leadership. If that's the direction that interests you, it's a really great opportunity to get into that role.
Sounds like some good chances for growth. Do you have any advice or final thoughts for those interested in entering acute care?
I really can't iterate enough how, I started in acute care and I really felt that it was a great opportunity to really get your sea legs, so to speak, and get that broad base and knowledge, get comfortable with being a nurse, and then move on into a specialty. Acute care really is an area that helps you build fantastic time management skills and just really be ready to move on for that next step.
Tiffany, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Our next guest is an RN Clinical Nurse 3 from UNC Medical Center's 8-bed tower General Medicine Unit. Please welcome Maggie Martinez Rodriguez. Maggie, how long have you been working on 8-bed tower, and has your experience been what you expected?
Hey, Paul. Good afternoon. Yes, I have been in 8-bed tower for 4 years, and pretty much it's been what I've expected and way more.
What would you say is the most challenging part of being an acute care nurse?
I would say it would be the coordinating, because as a bedside nurse, you have to coordinate a lot of the patient care. You have to make sure that a lot of parties are involved and are communicated and aware of what's going on. Between that and coordinating with family members, the doctors, physical therapy. So it's a lot of coordination, and pretty much the bedside nurse sits at the head of it. So I find that to be the most challenging thing.
Is there anything you wish you knew before coming into the position?
Yeah, absolutely. I came into this position as a new grad, and I have been here ever since. And I would say one of the major things would be mental health, and how I was not aware of how bedside nursing can take a toll of it if you don't take care of your mental health. So for sure, I would have wished I knew that I had to make that a priority, as I do now.
I think especially in these days, mental health is very important to prioritize. So I'm glad you pointed that out. How would you describe the working relationships between staff and the environment on the floor?
I would say, like any other relationship, is definitely challenging. It's a challenging, caring relationship. It's forever changing, forever improving. We're always trying to strive to do better and find our faults and continue to grow. But it's definitely a challenging, caring relationship where you pour your heart out to the people that come here seeking for care.
Do you have any key highlights why someone should choose this role in this department?
You have to have a caring heart. You really need to know that you're here to help others, selflessness, and you're here during these 12-hour shifts to put others first, but also yourself. 8-bed tower is a great unit. This is like family. Nikia and Jeremiah, who are the CN4 and the nurse manager, they're great. I've always felt supportive and always felt like I can come to them if I need anything.
I agree. I actually personally know Nikia and Jeremiah, and I think they're wonderful people. So, Maggie, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Paul.
Our final guests join us from the nursing employment team at UNC Medical Center. Please welcome nurse recruiters Stephanie Henry and Kim Jacobs. Stephanie, can you please tell us about the incentive opportunities that are available within acute care?
Absolutely, Paul. And we're excited as recruiters that when we're offering someone an opportunity to join the team, that we can also offer some financial incentives as well. So right now for our nurses, our experienced nurses, and also our NAs, nursing assistants and clinical support techs, we do have some opportunities. You can choose for the nurses for some assistance with the tuition loan that you may be working on paying off as a registered nurse, up to $25,000. Also, we have others, if you've been one of those fortunate folks that has the loan paid off, that you can look at a $20,000 for a commitment of 4 years, or a $15,000 for 3 years commitment. And what I like about the incentive program, the way we have it set up, is that here at UNC Medical Center, we want people to feel that they can also grow, to point out Tiffany's comments about the more to explore pathway, that if you are a nurse on a medical surgical and your goal is to eventually go to step down or ICU, that this commitment incentive while you're working on the unit will give you some additional financial support, but doesn't prevent you from seeking out those opportunities. So I think that's a phenomenal program that's supportive, but yet is not inhibited if you want to move to another unit. Because here at UNC Medical Center, we encourage people to grow. And the managers, in my experience as a recruiter, have always been so supportive of those who would like to transfer to grow with their career. But those that want to stay on the unit and continue to work with that team, we love that as well, and the incentive is there for them. We also do offer relocation for nurses that are traveling more than 50 miles or living more than 50 miles, I should say, from UNC Medical Center. And then we also just recently have started adding commitment incentives for nursing assistants and clinical support techs, which I'm excited because they are very much a part of the team, and we want to include them in those opportunities as well.
Kim, I know UNC Health recently launched the new Discovery Employee Referral Program. Are some of the acute care positions eligible for a referral bonus?
Yes, Paul, thank you so much for asking. For select positions, current teammates can receive $3,000 for referring a qualified hiring RN candidate or $1,000 for referring a nursing assistant candidate. We really like to support the nurses that refer others to our team. And so this is a great opportunity to help support them as a financial opportunity as well. Payment is made in 2 equal installments after our new teammate works through the 6-month and then the 12-month from the hire date. We also want to encourage teammates to be sure that they submit their referral before the potential applicant applies. So that's very, very important to this process.
Stephanie and Kim, it sounds like there are some great perks in place for both new and current employees. Thank you for sharing that with us today.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up another episode. I would like to thank all of today's guests, Tiffany, Maggie, Stephanie, and Kim, for providing us with a look behind the job posting. Be sure to tune in next month for another insightful episode. Until then, remember to see yourself at UNC Health.